As the world mourns Pope Francis, history's most secretive transfer of power begins. White smoke, the path to a new pope, guides you through this momentous transition. We explain exactly what happens next, leading to the dramatic conclave vote. Learn how each ritual unfolds, what each tradition means, and why these ancient ceremonies still matter today. Follow along as the throne of St. Peter stands empty and a new chapter in church history begins. White Smoke, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey folks, Garrett Fisher here. I need to tell you about this absolutely mind-blowing podcast, Acting President, that's been keeping me up at night. It's about James Bennett, a former governor starring in a hit Sunday night TV show about overthrowing the government, and then his actual former chief of staff approaches him to do it for real. The line between fiction and reality completely disappears when these course correction rallies start popping up everywhere. Is it brilliant marketing or something more sinister? The parallels are insane. Trust me, this is the political thriller you didn't know you needed in your life. Acting President, available now wherever you find podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. I just got back from Ireland, and you can catch up with my travels there on the Travel is Back podcast, several episodes about Ireland. And this first story today, I actually learned about when I was over there, and then when I got back home, I saw it in the news. So let me tell you about a college student who has launched a campaign to stop a Dublin statue from being groped. There's a statue of the fictional Molly Malone. I saw it. There's a myth that touching Molly Malone will bring you good luck. Now, the statue has a low-cut dress, and people like to grab the statue by the statue's breasts, which are worn away. And the statue is a dark color, and those look like a bright, like bronze kind of color because so many people have rubbed that area. A local tour guide told me they keep painting it over and over, and people keep fondling the statue. Tilly Cripwell said generally it's people standing up to get a picture and groping Molly's breasts, usually from behind. Often you get people kissing her breasts or putting their faces in them, and they're generally really loud and rowdy. When you're busking, you spend a couple hours at a time in a spot, and I just saw this behavior so often, and one day I had just enough, and I thought, if I'm going to continue to busk there, then I need to stop that. She's 23 and a student at Trinity College, which is just a few blocks away. I was actually there on St. Patrick's Day, and they had Molly Malone covered up a little bit to get people to cut it out. What Tilly wants is to have the statue raised on a higher pedestal, which will match the majority of male statues here, and also have the whole statue repainted so that there's no discoloration on her breasts. The main thing for me is this really bad example on the standards we're setting for behavior around women in society. Good luck with her cause. I would agree with her. As somebody who saw the statue once for 2 minutes, I think it could be on a higher pedestal. That is not crazy talk to me. The ancestral home of the co-founder of the Harley-Davidson motorcycles has been saved from demolition. The house went on the market, was about to be scooped up by developers. The Davidson Cottage is in Scotland. It was home to William C. Davidson, who emigrated to America in 1857. 3 of his children teamed up with 20-year-old William Harley to create the Harley-Davidson Company. Some Harley-Davidson enthusiasts started a GoFundMe. They raised more than £300,000. One of the leaders of the group says, "This incredible milestone would not have been possible without the dedication and generosity of so many. We extend our heartfelt thanks to everybody who contributed to the fundraising efforts, especially the Harley-Davidson riding community and our supporters worldwide." The final funding, generously provided by Harley-Davidson, reinforces our shared commitment to honoring the Davidson heritage. Good news if you were a Darwin's Rhea. You are a massive flightless bird that can run up to 37 miles per hour, and the governments of Argentina and Chile have struck a deal to help you guys. In Patagonia, the birds are pretty common, but in Chile, the 3-foot-tall bird is locally endangered and teetering towards extinction. Sebastian DiMartino is the conservation director of Rewilding Argentina and said, "We've secured individual rheas from healthy and abundant populations in Patagonia Park, Argentina, with minimal impact to the group." The birds were moved 55 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot for a bird, but I'll remind you, they're flightless birds. That's a long walk for a bird. Chris Tompkins is president of Tompkins Conservation and says if we want to reverse the mass extinction crisis, international cooperation is going to be essential. Nice job, everybody. This next one really cracked me up. I wish I could share the picture with you, but I'll I'll try and explain it. A North Carolina man decided to get rid of a persistent bear problem in his backyard by putting on a bear costume. There are funny pictures. You can see the man, just picture your stereotypical bear costume that, doesn't really look like a bear. A black bear enters the yard. The man emerges in his bear costume, standing like a man, not like a bear. The man in the bear costume kept walking near the bear, even growling at the actual bear. The black bear started to run away, paused at the edge of the property to be like, what the heck is that? And then gave up, and the black bear went back into the woods. White smoke. The path to a new pope explores humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power, a process now unfolding following the death of Pope Francis. This series reveals the hidden rituals, ancient traditions, and behind-the-scenes drama of papal transition. As the Catholic world enters this solemn period of mourning and anticipation, join us in witnessing how the Church has perfected this sacred process over 2,000 years, and what happens in these crucial days when the throne of St. Peter stands empty. White Smoke brings listeners inside the conclave that will determine who will succeed Pope Francis and lead the Church into its next chapter. White Smoke, wherever you get your podcasts.
You can get this podcast completely ad-free right now. If you're on Apple, just click the banner that says Uninterrupted Listening, and you'll get your first month free. If you use Spotify or other podcast players, go to calaroga.com/plus. It's just $5 a month, and you'll get access to over 20 premium shows with no interruptions. Binge listen to new series like the political thriller Acting President, Signal Lost, where military secrets land on the wrong phone, and Pager Protocol, the thriller about exploding pagers in the wrong hands. Plus, enjoy daily shows like Palace Intrigue about the royal family, daily comedy news, and 5 daily trivia questions to test your knowledge, and White Smoke, taking you behind the scenes at what's happening right now at the Vatican. You also get all our hot shows like 5 Good News Stories. Enjoy your favorite content without any ad breaks. Remember, Apple users click the Uninterrupted Listening banner for your free first month, and everyone else head to calaroga.com/plus. Get ad-free listening today.
Can I interest you in a $30 Nutella croissant? It's actually going to cost you 30 pounds, and I didn't feel like doing the conversion there, but it's roughly about a $33 Nutella croissant. How's that? A cafe in Liverpool introduced a giant new pastry. The $33 croissant is filled and drizzled with Nutella. Some think it could feed 3 to 4 adults. Liverpool-based musician Rhea shared on Instagram. It's the return of the giant croissant, but this time it's in Nutella. You can pre-order yours in any cafe. That led to some questions. One person asked, can you keep up with production on demand, or do we have to schedule massive croissants in advance? What's the ETA at production? Rhea assured everyone they can make more than we could eat, so they'll definitely keep up with the demand. One critic said no one would eat all this, so it's just a waste of food. In case you're curious, P&D Grand Cafe has previously sold giant croissants in plain and pistachio flavors. They also have some less common flavors like raspberry flour. The flaky, buttery pastries are made fresh every morning by the cafe's master bakers. And those are 5 good news stories for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might enjoy it too. Let's grow this thing together. I appreciate you sharing the show, and you have an awesome day.
These days, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries. And with that, we sent away good jobs and our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make all kinds of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs in towns and cities across the country. And jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.